Okay, so we are finishing lesson 6. Oh, wait. I'm a very patient person. We are finished. I'm still waiting. We're finishing lesson 6.3, trig identities. We left off on page 1.12. Are we here? Okay, so yesterday we found a whole bunch of information for sine, cosine, alpha, and beta. So we're going to continue to use that information to determine what the sine of 2 alpha is. Okay, so we have all of our information written down from before. We want to find sine of 2 alpha. Yesterday we did sum and difference of trig identities. Today we are doing double angle. So I want you to find on your reference sheet where it says double angle identities. Okay, so notice we have our functions of a double angle right here. See them? There's a whole bunch of them, right? Okay, notice that for cosine we have 3 of them. We're going to learn when to use which one. It's actually pretty simple to figure out. It's just based on what we know and what we don't know. Okay, so since we already have both sine and cosine for alpha, it's not going to matter which one, well, we're dealing with sine, so we're only dealing with this identity, right? So I want you to go ahead and write down that identity. Sine of 2a equals 2 sine a. But instead of a, we're going to be using what? Alpha. Good. So sine of 2 alpha equals 2 sine alpha cosine alpha. Okay. Do we know what sine of alpha is equal to? 4/5, right. So I'm going to replace all of that sine alpha with 4/5. Remember this from yesterday? Okay. What about cosine alpha? Good. Replace it with 3/5. Okay, so it's just substitution. All right, now what? You multiply. Good. Okay, remember 2 is the same thing as 2 over 1. So we get 2 times 4, which is 8, times 3, which is 24. 1 times 5, which is 5, times 5 is 25. So sine of 2 alpha is 24/25. Okay, so again, just substitution, right? Make sure you have this reference sheet next to you every day. You ready to try the next one? Okay, so the next one wants us to find cosine of 2 beta. Okay. Now, we know cosine and sine for beta. So when I go and I take a peek at this reference sheet, does it matter which one of those 3 I use? No, I can use any of them because I know both cosine and sine. If I only knew cosine, I'd have to use the second one, right? If I only knew sine, I'd have to use the third one. So it's based on what you know. So does it matter which one of the 3 I use? No. So I want you to pick whatever one you want, and I want you to solve. Okay? So go ahead and give it a shot. Pick whatever one of those 3 that you want, substitute in your values, and finish it up. Okay. Which one did we decide to use, guys? First one, which was what? Beta. Right? Okay. Remember, you want to bring this down with you every step. Okay. What's cosine of beta? Negative 24/25, and I do have to square it. And sine of beta? 7/25, and I do have to square it. Okay. So when I plug this in my calculator, I get what? It's not what I get. Oh, you think so? 527/625. I put it in my calculator. Yes. Why am I assuming that I'm right? I don't know, Joe. Might have something to do with the years that I have spent. Negative 24 over 25 squared minus 7 over 25 squared. Why?
Well, I'll show you so you can do that. That's going to be 6 minus that.
Okay. Okay, good. So you want to tell me that I was wrong?
No, you're just a little out of yourself.
Was I right? Joe, was I right? Oh, okay. No. All right, so are we good? Everything's all cleared up? We got it handled? Okay. Easy, hard? Just substitution, okay? Just substitution. All right, so we're going to work backwards now. So he got that reference sheet out next to you, right? So which of the following is equivalent to cosine of 100, cosine of 20, plus sine of 100, sine of 20? So what I want you to look for is which identity is set up this way. Okay, which identity is set up this way? Cosine of A minus B. Very good. All right, what's A? Good. What's B? 20. Good. What's 100 minus 20? So this is equivalent to cosine of 80, or equal to cosine of 80. Good. Yep. After, yeah. Okay, we ready? So it's B. All right, so we already started talking about our double angle identities. These are 4 of them. It doesn't have tangent on there. I need to put tangent on there. Okay, so these are on your reference sheet. They don't need to be memorized. You have them. Okay, any questions about that? All right. You don't have to memorize any of it. It's given to you on the Regents. Yep, except for our Pythagorean identity. Our Pythagorean identity, which we learned yesterday, was the Pythagorean identity. You're supposed to memorize it. Pythagorean identity, you're supposed to memorize it. What is it?
Oh, no.
Sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. Good. Make sure you have it memorized, guys. All right, so for an angle alpha, it is known that alpha is between 90 and 180 degrees, which tells me it's where? Second quadrant. Good. If cosine of alpha is negative 3/5, I want you to find sine of 2 alpha and cosine of 2 alpha. Now, they gave us a little bit of information, right? When we look at the identity for sine 2 alpha, what else do I need? When I look at the identity for sine of 2 alpha, or sine of 2a, what else do I need? I'm given cosine. What else do I need? I need sine. How do I find sine? Good. You're going to build a triangle. You're going to find that missing side, and you're going to write down what cosine of alpha and sine of alpha are. So go ahead and do that in your notebook. You don't need me to do that. All right, set up the triangle, find the other trig function, and then I want you to do both of these. Use the identities to find the values. Okay, and we'll come back together. Okay, so we have cosine, we needed sine. So what's sine of alpha? 4/5. Good. Okay, so now we have all the information we need. First thing we wanted to find, thank you, was sine of 2 alpha. What's the identity for sine of 2 alpha? 2 sine alpha, cosine alpha. Use the appropriate variables, okay? All right, do you know what sine of alpha is? Sure, we just found that out, right? Good, so we're replacing sine of alpha with 4/5. What's cosine alpha? Negative 3/5, good. So, do the multiplication. Good, negative 24 over 25. Excellent. How do we do? Not bad, right? Because a negative times a positive is negative. The length of a side of a triangle can't be. Yeah, because remember, we're in the second quadrant. Cosine's negative, so it has to be negative. Okay, it's all based off the quadrants, honey. All right, so the second one, we're doing cosine of 2 alpha. Does it matter which one I use? No, let's use one we haven't used yet. How about the second one? Good? All right, so the second one is 2 cosine squared alpha minus 1. Okay, we're going to use this one instead, just to try a different one. All right. What's cosine alpha? And I have to do what to it? Okay. Yep, type it all right in. Okay, so 2 times -3 over 5. Remember, you want that in parentheses. Squared minus 1. What do you get? Yeah. That's it. You should have gotten the same exact thing, did you? Okay, I'll check it in a second. All right. So I want you to go ahead on to the next one, and I want you to see if you can figure this one out, guys. So look at your identities, match it up to which one it goes with, and then figure it out. 2 sine 50 cosine 50. What is that identity? Who's got it? Sine of 2 times a, which in this case is 50. What's 2 times 50? 100. So this is sine of 100. Okay, so it's working backwards. It's giving you the identity piece, and you're working backwards to its double angle. Right. We good? All right. Which of the following is not equal to cosine of 80? Now, what do you have in front of you? Could use it, right? No. You can't set them equal to each other because you're dealing with radicals. That's an approximation. It's going to tell you false for everything if you do that. So you have to put them in individually. I'm glad you asked that question. Okay, so go ahead. Figure it out. Good, so you should have gotten choice 3. Are we okay? It's just calculator, guys. All right, so go ahead. Let's look at this one. If cosine of alpha equals 0.28, then cosine of 2 alpha is closest to. How do I do this? Yeah, which formula can I use? Yeah, I have to use the one that only involves cosine, right? Have to use the one that only involves cosine because that's all I have to work with. So that's going to be your second one. So 2 cosine squared alpha minus 1. I got to use that one. Okay? All right. What do I know? I know cosine. So it's going to be 2 times 0.28 squared minus 1. And then you're going to do what? Yeah. -0.84. Just put it in your calculator. Good. Okay, so it's using those identities, guys. You doing okay? Okay, last one. Go ahead and figure it out. So it is 2. How many of you use your calculator to get it? Okay. The other way you can look at this is cosine of 130. 130 is the same thing as 2 times 65. Okay? This is the double angle identity right here. So I could do it that way as well. A is 65. Okay. Your homework is pages 10 and 11. Do we have any questions from the homework?